Hello, hello. This is the Donbozos podcast, and we're finally back with a new episode and the final episode of the year. This is really exciting. My name is Aiden. Of course, I'm joined by my good friend and co-host Jeremy. How are we doing today?
I'm super excited. We haven't done an episode in like a couple months.
Two and a half months, I think.
2.5 months?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
And there's some people interested in the news episode. I know a lot of our good friends wanted to hear about this one. It is 3:01 p.m. on December 23rd, 2023. I am in San Francisco, which is where Jeremy's from, at my grandparents' house. We're like, you know what? Let's go ahead and get this done here and now so we don't have to do it online again for our final episode of the year. We got a lot in store for you guys, so I hope you guys enjoy this long episode format. And sorry if it's a little bit echoey, but we work with what we got. All right, so let's go ahead and start off of where we've been, because it's been a couple of months, and our last episode we flamed Ari's best skin to the community as her worst skin. So there was some couple comments on that one, but where have we been, Jerry? What's been going on?
Honestly, just been focusing on school a lot.
School.
Basically just school. School's been rough.
Yeah, you're coming up in your last semester. Hopefully, I'm coming up in my last 3 semesters or so. But this semester was my largest workload by far, and you got senior stuff, so it was really hard. Plus, we weren't home in our he was out the dorm. He doesn't bring his computer and stuff like that. I don't have a webcam on my desktop. So it was just a hassle. I mean, the last episode we recorded was at your dorm actually when we were just hanging out, and that was just random. So we decided to let's just make a banger episode for the end of the year. Let's not bang our heads against the wall, make lackluster episodes. Focus on school so we can have this episode ready to go. So we got a lot to talk about. Only covering 2 games. So we're gonna talk about our new logo and our rebrand. So as you can see in the top right corner, over there. It's weird for us. We have a new logo. It is not a bunch of PNGs slapped together anymore, but I do thank Jaden or Serratus on Twitter for making it. We shouted him out the first episode. We got a new graphic designer who's willing to make us more posters and stuff in the future, which is sick. His name is Tony or Picaro on Twitter. Let me go ahead and pull his Twitter up. So thank you, Picaro, for making it. He makes awesome Smash posters. You can hit him up for commissions. They're always open. But he's a little bit busy, so maybe he told me after the New Year's, hit him up if you want anything done. Posters, profile pictures, anything. Usually it's gaming, anime related, so you can use Unreal Engine files and stuff like that. It makes it easier on himself. He's a demon in Photoshop, so if you ever want to get his, if you ever want a commission for him, I'm shouting him out here and now. I hope you guys like the new logo. It's a Dondozo, of course, with our podcast name around it, as well as the positions in the league, which is pretty cool. And then if you look really closely, there's harbor text in the background for Valorant. So I don't know if you even noticed that, but yeah, that's something he wanted. He wanted to add in Valorant, but he didn't want to make it obvious because Valorant art is kind of weird for what he created. But if you look really closely, there's harbor text inside the Dondozo. So yeah, shout out to Tony. Thank you. What do you like about the logo?
The logo's just super clean. I just love that it's simple, but you can when you look into it, there's all these details.
Yeah, for sure. And then, of course, in addition to our rebrand, we have our new partners. So if you don't know, obviously you do know, we play a lot of Pokemon cards, and with Pokemon cards comes testing groups and good friends. So our friends here at Booth Gaming, which is on my side, on the left side, that is the Booth Gaming logo. I can actually pull up right here on the tab. This is Booth Gaming. This is our TCG group. Jeremy uses it for Pokemon, Vanguard, Yu-Gi-Oh! Every tournament we go to, I now use it for my Pokemon tournaments. So if you are in the Santa Clara County or you're going to any regionals, Portland is coming up, look out for the Booth Gaming mat and say, hey, I watched the podcast, and we'll give a good say hi. We have around 11 people. So we have around 11 people, and the best part about Booth Gaming is we are a deck diversity team. Although we do test a lot together, we all play different decks. I don't think any of us have brought the same list to a regional before, besides you and Nick. Actually, what was it?
It was a 1 card difference.
It was a 1 card difference. Instead of a shoe, he was playing a pal pack. Instead of one of your shoes. Instead of 4 bosses, 3 bosses, pal pad. Yeah. Because I was a fan of pal pad and Nick didn't have a deck. So Nick is part of Booth Gaming. So who on the podcast have had Booth Gaming? Douglas.
We have Douglas. We have Reckner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gio was on the podcast.
Yeah.
For our Tofu's
The Tofu episode.
Tofu episode. Yeah. So really looking forward to more episode creations with Booth Gaming. We are having a Booth Gaming New Year's party, which I'm going to vlog for the channel, which is also something we talk about for the rebrand. We're really only going to focus on Pokemon and League now. We felt like our Valorant and TFT sections were super lackluster. Like it was only like skin reviews, map reviews, and not weapon reviews, agent reviews.
Yeah.
And it's big, but it's not that big. And we like the more esports side.
Yeah.
So from now on, TFT and Valorant, if we were going to talk about it, we're going to talk about something as big, such as the most recent tournaments for TFT was the Las Vegas Open and game changes for Valorant. Obviously, we're not going to talk about it because it happened like a month ago or a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Pokemon and League for like the normal talks, and then for big esports events, we'll go ahead and hop into Valorant and TFT because mainly we just like obviously Pokemon's the main one, but League is also really big for us. We play it a lot. So Booth Gaming, Jerry, what did you say about Booth Gaming? What do you want to tell them?
Hey, I'm just excited that we have our cool Booth Gaming mats.
Yep.
And it's just nice to have finally like a testing group. We kind of had a testing group, but we didn't really have Booth Gaming until like Matt
and Rector were like, hey, let's just create this.
Yeah.
So I know 3 of us are going to Portland. We got Matt, Dan, and Carl. Although Dan doesn't have I think he might be using a Booth Gaming mat.
Yeah.
So look out for it. So the only 3 of us. The main one that all of us are going to is LA. That's like 6 months.
That's like in
May. End of May. So 6 months.
Yeah.
So excited for Booth Gaming. Shout out to our good friends who have made the mats and whatnot. No pun intended, the mat.
Yeah.
But so let's go ahead and what we're going over for today's episode. We have 2 games, but many topics for each game. This is a holiday episode, so we are going to do kind of like something different, a year in review for Pokemon.
Yep.
For League of Legends, we're going to be going over Worlds. So everything about Worlds, favorite plays, just our thoughts about it. A little bit boring, besides the ending, of course. But it's hard to compare to last year's.
Yeah.
Pokemon. Oh yeah, what do you have to say?
Last year's was a banger.
Yeah, last year's a banger. Maybe it's because we're biased because it's in the United States. But
yeah.
It was still a banger.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll go over that later. For Pokemon, we got to bring back our favorite segment. What is he cooking? Everyone's favorite segment. Of course, we'll explain that what it is later for newer viewers. And we're going to go over our card picks of 2023 from Scarlet Violet to Paradox Rift. We were going to think about including Crown Zenith, but it's not like that was like before rotation, so it didn't feel like a new year. And then for League of Legends, we're going to be going over again Worlds 2023 and just a lot of things about it, as well as a lot of LCS news and kind of things that we messed around with during school while we were bored. So before we get into it, do you have anything to say?
No, I'm excited. I think this is we start with what is he cooking? Might be
Oh yeah. Well, no. First, we had to introduce all of our Booth Gaming players.
Oh yeah.
I gotta do like the introduction to like the coming in.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me hold up. I have it pinned in the Booth Gaming server, not Booth Gaming server, Testing Team server, which has the Booth Gaming members here. Here we go. All right. Here we go. So we'll go back and forth. So I'll starting with one of our leaders, one of the people who created Booth Gaming. We have Matt. He is a wonderful person that we met at Tofu's Trading. So shout out to Tofu's Trading, which hopefully we get a spot at Tofu's Trading, and because they're moving spots. We'll do that at the end of the episode. So we shouted out to Matt. His favorite deck is Miraidon, and most likely we'll be playing Miraidon at all the regionals. If it comes to challenges, he likes to play Miraidon, but he also likes to explore. He has a lot of decks built, and he's probably our biggest tester in the group.
Yeah.
Maybe besides Ben and other people. But Matt is definitely the carry of Booth Gaming. He goes to most of the events because he's out of college, he's full-time working, and he spends a lot of time playing cards with us. So that is Matt. We also have these funny roles. So CEO is Matt. So you got next person?
Yeah, our next person is our CEO, Mr. Rector. He got us our name. Booth Gaming wouldn't have existed without Rector. Rector,
That's some Booth. That's his line. That's some Booth.
That's some Booth. Yeah, He invented. Well, he didn't invent the word booth, but he basically invented it for us.
Yeah.
That's where we heard it from.
Yeah, and then Gio was like, "Yo, who gave it?" And then I was like, "I'm making it a thing."
Yeah.
Speaking of Gio, we have our lead of marketing. Again, these roles are all just kind of funny in there. We call him lead of marketing because he's he's the Pokemon professor at Toku's Trading, which is the store that Booth Gaming goes to test a lot. So Toku's Trading knows of us. Make sure you guys go check him out in Santa Clara County, in San Jose. We have Gio. His favorite deck is anything related to Arceus.
Yeah.
It could be Arcturalodon, Arcuratina. Right now he's playing Lost Zone Arceus.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything Arceus he'll play. He's got max rarity of Arceus. So I think he plays one of each art for the V Star. He plays one gold, one rainbow. One gold and one rainbow because he only plays 2-2. And he plays one alt art, one promo. So yeah, make sure you guys spot him. He does not go to many locals because he's a professor and works at the card store.
Yeah.
But regionals he asks to take time off to go to.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to Portland, but he for sure goes to a decent amount of regionals. All right, next player.
Next is our director of transportation, Douglas.
Yes, sir.
If you see us in any locals other than probably Tofu, you'll probably expect Douglas to be there because he's the our director of transportation. He's the one that drives us around to locals. Like on Mondays we go to 88 during the school year, and like wherever like there's like a challenge or something, we might be like if we're there, it's because Douglas was there.
And he's currently playing Tina, right? Lost in Tina. Yeah.
Playing Tina, but he plays.
I think he's gonna go back to Maradon.
Yeah, he might be back on Maradon. Yeah.
All right, we got the booth sponsors. So the first one and the only one currently. We're trying to get Toku's Trading on there. You have the Donbozos podcast. That's us. We're not really sponsors. It's more like Matt called us partners.
Yeah.
So that's us too. We got Champion Bax Caliber over here, and I don't even know what the hell I'm playing.
Yeah.
I'm playing something different every week, but I think I'm always gonna go back to Control. So Starlight Skull. I'm always a Control player, which is gonna reflect on my top cards of 2023. All right, now we go to members. So let's go ahead and start with good friend over here.
So Nick, for Pokemon, he doesn't really play that much. He only has a GLC deck.
Steel.
Yeah, he plays Steel's GLC.
Yeah.
You might catch him at Yu-Gi-Oh! Locals though, with the Boot Gaming Rat. So if you find him while Boot Gaming a Yu-Gi-Oh!
Or
tournament,
Vanguard.
or Vanguard, or Vanguard too. He also plays Vanguard. So
yeah. So he goes to regionals with us to either play a random deck that we give him or spectate to play GLC. He actually went second overall in GLC in Sacramento, which is pretty cool because I only got fourth for the main event. I got first in the first day, but there was only 8 people on the first day. And then plus they knew what I was playing on the second day because I played on the first day. So yeah, shout out to Nick. Next, we have possibly the biggest pickup of Booth Gaming history. We have Carl. He was part of another store and then betrayed them and decided to join Booth Gaming. And the reactions was funny when he pulled out a mat at the store. He is a Rapid Strike player, so his deck is rotating soon. But he carries us in Trivia Night every week. We go to Trivia Night at Guild House in San Jose, and he has the most useless random knowledge. We just win. It's like insane. Like I don't know where he gets this knowledge from. I don't know, Carl. We're calling him the biggest pickup in Booth Gaming history.
Yeah.
So yeah, next we have possibly this player's pretty good.
Yeah. So Ben, what's he currently playing?
Zard. He always plays the best deck in the format, which is fine. He has our best results in the tour. Was it 82nd in San Diego Regional with Lugia, which is it's still good. It's still good.
I mean, there's like more than 82 Lugia players.
Yeah.
So
There's like 300 at least.
There's like 300 at least, like maybe half the tournament. Yeah. So like our Ben, he's playing whatever he thinks is best, which actually helps us a lot in testing. So like if he like. We just need to find someone who like constantly playing the best deck, so we're gonna have like constant practice against it.
Yeah, he loves the game of Pokemon, but he plays to win. There's nothing wrong with that.
Winning's fun.
And yeah, for him, his fun comes from winning. So he loves to just win. But he loves to lose in practice. I don't know. All right, these next two players don't play with Boot Gaming Mats, but they're in the team. We call them our sleeper agents. We have Dan and Carlos. Dan is our Golden Go EX player, and Carlos is a fellow Control / Maradon player. These two players are super talented. Carlos only goes out to tournaments when we see him. He doesn't. He's too busy to come out to playtest. He's all the way in. He works plumbing, I think, not plumbing. Maintenance in apartment buildings. So he's very busy. And Dan works with Matt. Not works with him. Works at the same corporate job as Matt. He's our Golding X player. He's addicted to that deck. It's a little bit disgusting. Like he's optimized it. He's optimized it to a point where he's not even afraid of control, which is crazy. He put 2 water energies so he can't get controlled.
That's true.
When they put up the Greninja. So yeah, shout out to Dan and Carlos, and that is our Booth Gaming representatives. We got a pretty stacked team in Santa Clara County, individually. So I'm excited to see the results, and we would put a Twitter up here, but Matt says that we need a day 2 regional finish before we make a Twitter post. So we'll put a Twitter. Maybe we'll make a Twitter post about it. I don't know. We're definitely making a post about today's episode. That's for sure. And finally, the last Instagram post was Fresno Regional. We didn't make one for Sacramento.
That was like May.
Yeah.
That was May or June. Yeah.
All right, so now we're back to everyone's favorite returning segment. What is he cooking, Jeremy? What segment? What does the segment mean?
So what is he cooking? The segment where you go to PokemonCard.io and find the let's say the most unique and maybe hidden potential decks we out there.
Hidden potential troll, whatever made us laugh,
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start us off with Miss Magius. So this deck is a little bit weird. We got your favorite basket for Call for Family or Gather the Crew. Gather the Crew broke it. All right. So this deck is definitely weird, but you have Miss Magius. So Eerie Voice has put 2 damage counters on each of your opponent's Pokemon, and then Spiteful Magic is if this Pokemon has full HP is knocked out by damage from an attack of your opponent's Pokemon, puts 8 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. So you just spread a bunch of damage counters, you deal 8, so you're pretty much doing 100, and then you're just swinging with Scizor. So is this deck good? No. But what's even funnier is you counter-capture around, you boss around different Pokemon, you keep putting 20, and then you come up with any Pokemon you want, put out the Devo, and take 6 prizes at once. We hate Charizard, we hate Max Caliber, dude, any Pokemon evolution, like I'm pretty sure this is how Rapid Strike beats Charizard, is they don't take any knockouts and they take all of them at once with the de-evolution, because they just ping, move damage counters around, and then boom. So same thing as Rapid Strike, except we don't got VMAX this year, baby. Yeah. We lose to hands. I don't care. Hands doesn't, Schrodinger's hands, okay? It doesn't matter. This Magus plus Scizor based combo, and only 1 Devo, because you only need 1, right? You got 1 round to find it. So
yeah, the 1 round, you have the 1 Peony just in case.
1 Arvin. So. Yeah. What do you think about this deck?
I mean, hey, if there's no 3 prizers, the Zards can knock out your 3 prizers twice to win the game. So this Magus, they need to take 6 turns to knock out all your things.
Yeah. Velocity is not a thing.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and the 4 Luminous, because you got 1 second attacker and 1 steel attacker. Ooh. Yeah. Hey, this deck is cooking. I'm telling you. All right, well, tell me about your deck.
So we have Garbodor Snorlax. So Garbodor, so it does. First attack, we're basically using that Chuck. 1 dark energy is 50 times every tool you discard. So we pair this up with the Snorlax. The Snorlax has the ability that adds 2 leftovers from the discard pile to your hand.
Which is just a random tool.
It's just a random tool. So it doesn't really matter what it is, but it's just tools that we add to hand. So we bench 2 of these, and then we use Garbodor to discard them for do 200 damage.
Every turn.
Every turn.
And then you just toolbox and just get in Town Store in Arvin, and you just add more damage. You can swing theoretically up to like 600 damage in 1 turn. Yeah. Theoretically, if the toolbox finds 7 tools. Yeah. I think this deck. Usually we try to argue which deck is better for what it's cooking, but I think this deck cooks way harder than this Magius Devolution. So yeah, I mean Jeremy will still put a poll when this episode airs. So make sure you guys go to our community tab on YouTube and vote. What is he cooking? Who is cooking better? We got Garbodor Tool versus Miss Magius De-Evolution Scizor. I'm gonna be honest. I'm definitely siding with the Garbodor. Hint. We may have already been testing the deck out a little bit, trying to make it competitive ready. It gets far in my hands, but what deck doesn't get far in my hands? So. Yeah. Anything else?
I think that's it. We've been testing the Garbodor deck, so we might be rolling up and down.
All right. So this is where it gets thick for the episode. We have card picks of 2023. Scarlet Violet Paradox. So we have four different categories. So we have energy, which we only have one pick because there wasn't enough energy to do top five, and we would have a lot of overlap. There is still a decent amount of overlap for the future categories. The next category, we have trainers or items, tools, and stadium cards. We have top fives for each of those. We're gonna go down from five to one, and this is our kind of like a personal list, not really like. Obviously, we could probably agree on the best item cards in the whole game. But this is kind of a personal list, what we liked, what we like to play around with. And then we have supporters and Pokemon, of course, top fives as well. And what's perfect about this top fives is this is also YouTube Shorts. And if I do, I will tell you right now, I will edit these. I will edit these, all right? I promise. We will have finally have shorts on the YouTube channel. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with energies. Again, this was only we each chose one because there's not enough energies, and this is special energies. Of course, we're not going to choose basic energies. So yeah, I'm going to start off with the Jet Energy. This is my personal pick. The top card, energy card of 2023 for my pick, Brandon's pick, is Jet Energy, and I'm going to explain why. Staple in a lot of decks. Pivot power is always important. A lot of decks just run a free retriever just because it's strong, but Jet Energy just makes it so if you have energy acceleration, but you're like down one energy because you need to like attach a tree, this is the perfect card. Perfect in Lost Box, perfect in Sablezard, perfect in Valiant Entei, just random decks that need another energy attachment and a pivot. This is it. Yeah, really strong card. And the best part is everyone was raving about it in Lost Box, but it wasn't that strong. It was more for the niche Lost Box decks. So Sablezard is like the main one. And now we're starting to see it more in other decks. I mean, like things such as like Celebration's Mew, when Air Balloon rotated, Celebration's Mew became worse. But with decks with cards like Jet Energy, for example, the Zatu decks with Celebration's Mew that I've been testing, and Jet Energy has proven to be really strong.
Yeah, Jet Energy is really strong. I think the most popular deck in the meta that's playing it is like the Entei and the Lost Box decks. Like I mean, like people before the count came out, people were like, yeah, triple Comfey on one Jet Energy is insane. It is insane, and yeah, even though it's not every deck runs it at 4. It's like once you just need to see it like once or twice, and then you just have like 3 Comfey, so it's just insane.
Definitely good for Lost Box. And Celebration View decks are abusing it really, really heavily.
Yeah.
All right, so your pick of 2023 is
Reversal Energy. So Reversal Energy is 3 energies for an evolution Pokemon if you are behind in prizes.
Non-rule box.
Non-rule box, yeah. Also non-rule box. Yeah, so the most popular deck this is ran in is of course Gardevoir. When this card came out, it changed the way that Gardevoir is played. I said like before people were focusing more on Zosh and Bees and just pumping it up in one-shot and stuff. Now you can just do with Gardevoir, which just changes the price trading super hard. It's like so hard to trade for something that like permanent knocks out like 2 prizes on a 1 prizer.
And this card also helps with a lot of random road decks that struggle with energy acceleration. I'm really glad a lot of single prize road decks are coming back. And Sable kind of killed that last format, but Sable can't hit over for like 180 on stage 2 Pokemon. So Reversal Energy just kind of helps with that. Like there's those those Incineroar decks. There's Trio,
Zorobox.
Zorobox is a big one, yeah. So just random decks that evolution Pokemon had trouble, back. What were we using for energy acceleration? Like Cherrim was like a main one. Just random, just stuff that got farmed by Sableye. So Reversal Energy really helped with that. So yeah, very strong card. 2 very strong special energies. I don't think anyone runs anything else. Shout out to Therapeutic and all the Lugia abusers. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for our top cards of 2023 for energies. And now we have the next category, which is item, tools, and stadiums. And before we get into it, we're gonna go over a honorary mention, Nest Ball. Not because it's not top 5, but because it's literally like Z tier. Like it's like
number 0 for both our lists.
It's the greatest card ever produced. This is like almost as like if we were like to make this list like in 2020 with Battle VIP or something like in 2021. This card is so incredibly strong, and I wouldn't call it broken like Battle VIP, but it is just a nice card to have. Almost every deck runs it. Besides, not almost every deck. I don't think it does exist, but like we're not running the Garbler deck.
Yeah.
But it's strong, especially when you have like Rod and then you need to pull it out. Back then when you would order Rod, but you had football, you didn't know what the fodder. It was really hard. So Nest Ball, and the best part about Nest Ball is balance. It puts it directly on the bench. You can't mess around with things like Luminion or like Iron. No, I'm not. Iron Bundle still works, but like Luminion. What else is basic for can? It's just Luminion mostly.
I just like Pumpkaboo also.
Pumpkaboo, yeah. So this is number 0. This is the best card that ever came out for us. We're glad that they did because I can't imagine a format where Ultra Balls are main ball card to use.
Yeah, there's no
because I heard that there was a format like that. So Nest Ball is our tier 0. So we're gonna go ahead into our number 5. This is gonna be your number 5.
The electric generator. So the electric generator does a lot of carrying in the Miraidon deck. This item, if it hits, is probably the most broken item in the game. Look at the top 5 cards, choose up to 2 basic lightning energy, and attach them to your bench Pokemon. So the Miraidon decks use this to accelerate their decks, and I guess technically any electric deck can, but like the main one is Miraidon at the moment, since
strong card. Good spot for it, number 5.
Yeah.
So for my number 5, I went ahead and did Counter Catcher. And I know this card deserves higher, and as a control player, it probably deserves my number 1. But the reason why I put it at number 5 is it feels like it's breaking the format. I never played during Counter Catcher. I started in Brilliant Stars, Astral Rangers Brilliant Stars. So boss was like the main thing. Boss and like 2 cross switchers for new players. But this thing, but now when I'm playtesting, it's like, oh, thank God they owned it. I'm not getting bossed up. And then they pull out the catcher because I like killed the president. And I'm like, oh, I forgot. And like there goes my engine or like my energy acceleration or something or like a charged up V when I Trinity Nova, like something like that. So this thing is insane. We call it the gun in Nook Gaming. I don't know why he called. I mean, it does look like a gun, but it looks more like a megaphone to me. Number 5 for me. No spoilers for future for our list. So what do you think about it being number 5?
It's definitely within top 5. So I think the card is pretty good. Yeah.
All right, and for our number 4 slot, Jeremy, we have
Super Rod. So Super Rod is back after Ordinary Rod rotated. Just rotated. So Super Rod choose up to a combination of any 3-year Pokemon or basic energy and shuffle them into your deck. We just need something like this in the format. What was it? In Scarlet Violet base, we were playing with like Miriams and stuff. Oh man.
Oh my. And then Lost Fox Mirrors was Clara versus Clara.
Yeah.
Every game, Clara versus Clara. Like if you got Sableye first, you better have Clara in your hand. Or your opponent better have Clara in their hand. Super Rod, amazing addition to the game.
Yeah.
We always need some sort of recovery. Whether it be, for energy recovery, we already had it. We already had retrieval or recycler.
Yep.
But Pokemon recovery, we just had supporters. Which was not good. So back in the day, they had Stretcher back then. We had Ordinary Rod.
Yep.
So just things like that. So having an item card as Pokemon recovery is good.
Yeah.
Stretcher was broken though. We don't talk about Stretcher.
Stretcher is pretty good.
Number 4 spot is great. For my number 4 spot, we have a Bravery Charm. We have a tool. I loved Cape of Toughness, so I'm glad they just brought it back. But I'm not glad that it is my 4 gold capes that I already sold. Bravery Charm, I mean, it's a strong card. Just give it number 4 spot. You can play it in road decks. You put it on Vs, on EXs. It's balanced because there's lost vacuum in the format. Just a classic tool card. What do you think, number 4?
Yeah, I think it's like, it makes some maps super annoying against like basic 2 prizers. You think you like get a 1-shot here and then just throw the Bravery Charms like, this thing takes 2 shots to kill now. It's like,
All right, and for your number 3, we have Counter Catcher as well.
Counter Catcher. So before, like you said, like when someone Ionos, just like, nice, I'm not getting bossed up. It's like the same thing when your opponent like hits like the Colress or something. It's like, nice, I'm not losing my hand, and I'm not losing a Pokemon. And then they pull up the Counter Catcher. It's like, oh.
Well then.
Well, guess I am losing the game, I guess. I think Counter Catcher is so insane.
It's so strong.
It's on a single item card, this thing is insane. It also has like sends you like Iron Hands. Like there's just a lot of decks that's just like just like yeah.
Yeah, and the thing about this card is it was so easy to slot in. Like decks running 2 bosses, alright, 1 boss, 1 counter catcher.
Yeah.
Or decks running 3 bosses, alright, 2 boss, 1 counter catcher. 2 counter catcher, 1 boss.
Yeah.
But the thing is it didn't replace boss, but it's strong enough to replace a boss.
Yeah.
So yeah, because boss is still good if you're ahead or if you want to extend your lead, but this card is just so insane. And the decks that revolve around them, control, reversal guarding, even like I don't know, like Marinons are using it. This card is crazy. The gun is OP. So yeah, 3 spot is respectable, and my number 3 spot is they brought back the Crushing Hammer. As you guys know, I am a control player. According to Matt, our Boot Gaming lead, I play Crushing Hammer because I play League of Legends. The thing is we don't have a control deck using Hammer yet. I tried playing it at SAC. It didn't work until they outgamed me. Squawk and seized all their fighting energies onto back to the Duraludon, which I did not play for, and he did play for the first 2 games, and then figured out the 3rd game they did, and it was like I can metagame you. So yeah, Crushing Hammer, standard card for the opponent has this card, an energy card. This is the best matchup for Crushing Hammer is probably Arceus. But it's not good right now. But I'm glad they brought it back because this was one of my favorite cards during the Sword and Base era. What do you think? Number 3?
Yeah, I think Crushing Hammer should like always be in the format. Just like some way of just having the energy like deceleration is like super.
It's not like broken. It's like
I think it's like something. It's not a counter catcher where it's like effect is way too strong for a item. This is like I think this is like perfect strength for an item. It's like on flip a coin. It's like Pokemon catcher, right? It's flip a coin to potentially do something and say 50% time it's like insane, 50% of time it's useless.
Yeah, but kind of Pokemon catcher is just cringe.
Yeah, I think the main deck is used in meta right now. It's like DTE Muse have been running some Crushing Hammers in there. It's like, oh man, we're back to coin flipping in that thing, I guess.
All right, we're going off to our top 2 slots here. Jerry, what do you have? You have the
Earthen Vessel. Oh man, so I was experimenting with some Pokemon post-rotation, and let's just say Irida for energy search was like the worst feeling in the world. So like, thank God we got Earthen Vessel. This card helps accelerate energies for like a lot of decks. It's like Salamence runs it, like the Champ Power decks runs it. I think a lot of decks run it, and
even Lugia runs it.
Yeah, Lugia runs it to get for the hands of their Zard.
And water for the video.
And water for So like this card is insane, especially since like there's like stuff like Irida and Arvin in the format where you can just search for you turn them into literally search for any card in your deck basically.
Yeah, that's great. I play Pokemon right now. It feels nice. I like to run 1 Champ-Pow now. And just Earthen Vessel, discard VIP. Earthen Vessel, discard useless Pokemon in my hand. Get the barrel out there.
Yeah.
It's strong. I would say it's even better than Bucketed at some points, because Bucketed only gets water and you don't get the discard. So yeah, definitely strong card for sure, and a nice number 2. And my number 2 spot is going to be Artizone, another stadium. I know he did a bunch of items, so I'm out here representing all the stadiums and tools. Probably the most homey stadium out there. It is actually considered the homey stadium in GLC. Because you'll see like Story Mountain or like Brook the Hill or like a stadium's specified for your typing, but this card is the ultimate homey stadium because it gives you any basic you want in any GLC deck. And it's strong. It is just strong in standard too. Because like for example, it's good to just Artizone, get a Pokemon out, lost back in the way and lost. If you want to play, if you don't like stop in lost zone, I don't like stop, so I love Artizone. I know Beach Court was a thing. Already mentioned Beach Court. We didn't put it on here, but I think Artizone it's just good. Like, it's just that's ball, but for a stadium, and I like it way better than Bezogoza. So
and you like stick this on the field, like your opponent Roxanne, you knock out like important Pokemon. It's like, oh, I'll just rod it back, Artizone it back out. It's like, it's just
great card.
It's like since it's stadium, it stays on field. It's like a hand destruction proof on like Nest Ball, and it's like it's just like
it's a handshake. It's a handshake. All right, and we're going to our number 1 trainer card picks of 2023 Scarlet Violet era. Jeremy, you have this is me. I have Earthen Vessel. I put it as my number 1. He put it as number 2. I put it as my number 1. this card is what made me reconsider a lot of different decks. I mean, we're using it in Garbodor tool. We're using it. I'm using it in Palkia. I've used it in. I feel like I've used it in a couple other decks. Yeah, just strong card. Professor's Letter. I think the discard is really good. To thin the hand out, especially when a lot of decks are now using the barrel.
Yep.
I know like even Zards are using it, so they don't miss their evolution. Don't use Energy Search, guys. Just don't use Energy Search. Oh, Rabbit Chuck is using it. Like, yeah, best item that they've released in recent times, in my opinion. So, yeah, your number one is this one.
Superior Energy Retrieval. So it's like it's mainly used in like one meta deck and like one rogue deck in like Godango.
Yeah.
So I just think this is like so it's like this is basically the same thing as like the electric generator. It's just super pivotal to like a deck. A deck would just not function without it. Although like this one's more generic, so it like works for like two different decks and like Godango and Chimpao. Yeah, it's like when I've been playing a lot of Chimpao and like if I just don't see like 2 to 3 of these per game, I just lose. So like
and I'm using it now in Zatu.
Yeah, Zatu.
Yeah, it's good in Zatu as well. So yeah, number one. It's a returning card, but it hasn't. We haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah.
And they brought it back at a good time.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely like that a lot. So that is going to wrap it up for our top 5 trainer cards. So now we're gonna now we're gonna go into top 5 supporters of 2023, and Jeremy has chosen definitely some interesting ones, but respectable ones. And again, you have to remember these are cards that have come out within Scarlet and Violet. So again, I included Crushing Hammer. They got reprinted very soon after rotation. So a lot of these cards count. Just keep that in mind while we look into our top 5. So Jeremy, let's go ahead and start off with your number 5 pick for 2023, and it is
Professor's Research.
Wow,
insane. So let's say I played by 2 to 3 decks this entire like
format
for entire year. I played Artina, I played Chimpao, and I'm like dabbled a bit in like Gardevoir because my sister has a deck build. So I have not played with many supporters this year. So Professor's Research, it's a classic. This card here, draw 7. It's always strong. It's just that
we're gonna have a card like this for years. Like, you can't go wrong with it.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, you can go wrong with it for sure, but you can't go wrong with putting it in the deck.
Yeah.
Like even Guardian sometimes plays.
Yeah, it's like the one note sometimes in Gardevoir.
Yeah, definitely not a Chimpao.
Yeah, definitely not a Chimpao.
Irida or bust.
There's like some super old ones where like you're running one of it, so like just in case you miss Irida, it's like hopefully you see those superior energy retrievals.
I mean, look at this. It's not a paragraph. Discard your hand and also
one whole sentence.
Yeah, respectable 5 spot. I can't argue with it. I literally can't. But I'm gonna go to my number 5. We got Giacomo. Probably the most memed on supporter card. Discard special energy from each of your opponent's Pokemon. Yeah, it ruins me with Lugia. That's all you use it for. Like, let's be honest. You're only gonna use it in control. You're never gonna use it anywhere else. Maybe in random Arceus decks with like Path. But yeah, Giacomo, he's the DJ. He's the GOAT. Although I've never played Scarlet and Violet, like the actual video game. So yeah. What do you think?
I mean, it's a super niche card, right? But like, it's super broken. Whenever you use it, it's like the most broken card in the game. It's just that it's just very niche.
Played it to Vinny, and I just part of 3
Oh,
yeah, he had no idea what was coming. Well, no, because we were practicing in the first games, he was holding them, and then I sending them out of his hand. Mm-hmm. So then he was like, I gotta attach them all, and then I talked about the next game. So yeah, number 5. Okay, your number 4 is guys, keep this in mind. Remember, 2023 cards. Jeremy's number 4. You can see the image. It's Funny Man.
It's the Funny Man. It's Mr. Judge. So we don't have this full-on version of Judge it, but we do have the regular version printed in Scarlet Violet base. So Judge has been like carrying me the entire like first half of the year. It's literally the only supporter I wanted to play for like the first half of the year. It's like I play Artina. All I want to do is Path Judge.
Hit the Judge, yeah.
Hit the Judge.
I love Judge too. I think Judge is a great card. I play it in my second DLC deck. Probably one of the better hand destruction cards. Because the funny thing is, you could screw yourself over. That's the biggest part about Judge. So yeah, shout out to the Funny Man. I'll definitely pick up the playset of these ones. So this set's coming out soon.
Yeah.
So next year.
I think January.
Yeah. It'll be a fun set,
Yeah.
which we'll talk about on our next episode.
Yep.
So my number 4 is going to be Iono. Probably one of the best supporter cards to come out in the year. But for me, I don't know why I put it at number 4. Oh, I know why. Because of all the control cards coming up. But probably the best card overall, like in the whole format. Just N but better, and it's strong. I like to play. I like to play it with a lot of barrel decks. I play it in Palkia. I play it in. I know Zard plays it. Strongest card in Guardy.
Yeah.
Just a strong overall card. And I only put it here because personally like the most important card that's coming up. But it's good. It deserves a spot on my list nonetheless.
Yeah.
All right.
It might be on my list.
It might be on
my list.
All right. Well, we're gonna go into the best card, the real best supporter card in the format. Your number 3 spot.
Boss's Order.
Getsus boss.
Yeah, specifically the Getsus one. So Boss's Order, classic effect. It's like basically research. We're probably gonna just be getting these for like.
You just shove one in your deck, no matter what. You're gonna shove one in your deck.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a Boss's Order in like every format probably coming up now. So it's switch one fetch Pokemon to your opponent's active. So it's just a simple effect. It's super strong. A super strong effect. Use a lot to like finish out games or just even early game. You can just boss up like important target to just heavily disrupt your opponent's like pace. Like stop their setup and stuff. Yeah.
Yep. Boss go crazy.
Boss go crazy. Boss for game.
All right, my number 3 is not a control card, but used in control. Arvin. I remember when this card first came out because they switched tools from items to Pokemon tools.
Yeah.
They had to release something related to it, and Arvin came out, and a lot of people were like, "Why would we ever just use this card? Are tools really gonna be that strong? We still have Irida, or we can just draw into it, blah 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 blah." And then 4 months go by, and then he just getting shoved in more and more decks.
Yeah.
I mean, the deck that was using it the most was Marilla. You search for Force Seal plus Generator, which then that Force Seal gets you another Generator. Now we're playing Peony. But Arvin is insane. I mean, Guardy was using it for Force Seal plus Fog Crystal.
Yep.
So now you get the ZCV plus now Force Seal Stone.
Or the very early days of your Sky Seal Stone.
Sky Seal Sky Seal plus Fog Crystal. And then we have Arvin Zard. And now we have Control. And it just keeps getting shoved. I mean, because I kind of predicted this because of course they had to release more tools.
Yeah.
I mean, Force Seal in Brave Charm already strong enough.
Yep.
But now we've got Luxurious Cape, we got TMs, and just things like that. So Arvin proving you can't go wrong with that in a card. I mean, you're already proved that. So Arvin number 3 slot here. Scarlet Violet base set. What do you think?
Yeah. So like initially on release, like people were like just run Irida. Every deck's on Manaphy, like Greninja or like Luminion anyway. You always have water type. You just add the item, and then tools were like slightly weaker at the time.
Yeah.
So now that tools have gone stronger, people are like, oh, we should just be like, just second card that you search off Arvin's actually like super important.
Yeah. Cloth is a big one.
Yeah.
Cloth big time one. Hey, Garbodor. I mean. All right, we're going into number 2 slots. Here, so big time ones, meta defining ones, whatever we think. It's all personality. You got this one. This one is bigger.
Yeah. So Professor Sawdust Vitality, does the basically the entire Roaring Moon deck is just reliant on hitting the supporter. So choose up to 2 ancient Pokemon, attach a basic energy from discard pile, and anyway, if you attach any energy this way, draw 3 cards. It's basically Melanie, but for 2.
But way better. Way better.
It's just way better. Yeah. So yeah, this card is just insane. If this card didn't exist, the Roaring Moon deck would just not exist.
We would be playing Darkrai right now.
Yeah, we'll be playing Darkrai. Like we need to hit like 20 dark patches. We won't be able to swing turn 1. It's like
I think this card would be good when more ancient Pokemon come out. Because right now it's just Moon. But I feel like there's decks out there, ancient decks out there that haven't been discovered yet.
Yeah, we still have we only have like a few ancient Pokemon. I think we only have like 3.
It's like Rapid Strike and Single Strike, right? They're just gonna keep coming out and see what happens.
There is like a lot of like ancient Pokemon that hasn't like gone their ancient
ancient tag, yeah.
Like we don't have like Fluttermane and stuff, but we do have like Koraidon, which doesn't have the ancient tag on it because it came out on Scarlet Violet base. So like we might get those in the future, and like this card might potentially even be like stronger.
For sure. All right, the second one was Jeremy knows the card I was most excited about when I heard about it. We have Erica's Invitation. Oh my god, this card opened up so many options for control, and yet we still play the same board one. But the art is beautiful, and the most anticipated set of the year, Scarlet Violet 151. Your opponent reveals their hand, and you put a basic foil you find onto your opponent's bench. If you put it going onto their bench on its way, switch in that active. So it counts as a Horn plus boss, kind of, because Horn comes from the discard. But this is really strong because to beat out either Mawa control or Snorlax stall trapping decks, they would just hold onto the Pokemon in their hand. So you couldn't horn it out and you couldn't boss it out. So Guardian was really hard to beat. Guardian was the hardest deck to beat in the format. And then this card comes around, Erica's Invitation. So now every time your opponent doesn't want that Manaphy in play, they just have to Iota it. Like that's the only thing they can't do. But at some point, the control player will have Invitation, and you will have that Manaphy in hand, and you are getting trapped for the rest of the game. This card made control higher on the tier list. Just this card. You can run one too. This card was crazy, and I love the art. And Erica is one of my favorite trainers, so it was cool to see it come into the Pokemon Trading Card game. What do you think?
Yeah, before you just like don't bench your Pokemon or don't discard them, you just hold them in your hand. But now with Erica's Invitation, that like they can get you trapped on anywhere now. From discard you have Horn, on the bench you just hit the boss, and then of course if you're holding the hand you have Erica's Invitation now. Yeah.
Yep. All right, and we're going into our top picks of 2023. This one's obvious. I mean, one of us had to put it number one for our list. Jeremy, why don't you go ahead and tell us why you think Iono is your number one?
So Iono is just okay. So it's just N, but it's even better because your opponent can't draw back into the cards that they shuffled back to the bottom of their deck. And also, if you're running something like the barrel, if you're hitting Iono, you probably don't want any of the cards in your hand anyway. So you just shuffle them to the bottom and draw basically fresh new cards. And it's like
this counter catcher.
Yeah. It's just like this card is just I think this might be like the best support that came out this year.
Yeah, it definitely is. And it's good early draw too.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
It does everything.
Yeah, it's the best card in the format.
Yeah.
Like it is literally the best card in the format. Maybe besides like counter catcher.
Yeah.
Because this card just has so many uses. I mean, it's almost as good as Marnie. Like Marnie early game was still. I think Marnie early game is better than Iona, but Iona late game is better than Marnie. Because Marnie early game you get +1 card off of your opponent. Yeah. You're still in the partner game. For this game, early game it's like 6/6. Like you're resetting the game in your hand. So it's like you're doing your opponent a favor too. Yeah. But this card is so crazy, dude. But we're gonna go to my favorite supporter card. It is still currently my favorite supporter card in the format, and probably will be for a while. And this supporter card in particular is good for control, but it's also good for many other decks to beat control as well as to reset your Pokemon. We have Penny, now overshadowed by Turo scenario, but the good thing about Penny is you don't lose a lot of cards. So, for example, tools are hard to get back. The only thing that turns tools back in the deck are Silene. So Penny is really good for looping basic roll with like Charm and stuff like that. Obviously, it's good at control. It was used in Guardy to protect Zacian, like the Crown Zacian or whatever, or the Cresselia or something like that. What other deck is used for? I think that was pretty much it. Like Guardy was the main one back when we first started. Oh, Mew. It was good at Mew for the Genesect.
Oh yeah.
Obviously Turo overshadows it, but for decks that need to keep the resources, Penny is a strong card, and probably my favorite. One of my favorite characters from Scarlet Violet from when I see playthroughs and stuff like that. What do you think? Penny number one?
Yeah, I think this has been like a super important one up in like a lot of decks during like the majority of the year. Like now it's overshadowed by Turo, but like we got Turo like last month.
Yeah.
So it's like Penny's just been like super important in a lot of decks. Like just to beat beat certain matchups.
Yeah.
So yeah.
For sure. All right, we are now going to be going into our top 5 Pokemon of the 2023. This is against Scarlet and Violet. to Paradox if you are tuning in to the middle of the episode and you decide to click randomly. So, uh, I'm going to start off this time because I feel like you've been starting off every time. This is sort of a meme. I thought it's not the same thing. We thought it was Garbodor. I changed it last second. We are going to go into my number 5 pick of 2023. We have Gardevoir EX. Personally, I've never owned this deck, never owned this card. I traded it as soon as I got it on pre-release.
Yep.
I was never interested in the card. But the amount of options this card offers to any second core deck, you don't even have to use it in like the Guardian core that we know today. You can just use it with refinement Corellios, pop it down, pop a random psychic Pokemon down, and let's swing. This card offers so many unique cards, and Guardian EX was always a deck that I knew was was constantly top 3, but I've never complained about. Like, we've never complained about this because this deck is hard. It hurts your brain. And like it's strong, but because it's hard, that's why it's strong. It's not like Zard where you just what's Zard's attack even called? Burning something.
Yeah.
You announce that every turn. So it's like I love this Pokemon. I've never played the deck. I've always enjoyed playing against it, even if I would lose, because it's just hard. Respect to the player playing it. So yeah, what would you do? Guardian EX.
Yeah, Guardian EX is a super strong card, but it didn't feel unfair. Like a lot of the other win conditions, like this, you just read straight up, this card is broken, and that's like, okay, that's kind of lame. But like this one, you like combine the Curlia engine, the Curlia refinements, and then you have Gardevoir EX, you have Shiny Arcana. It's just like a toolbox of like, it's just like super cool to see people like play with like all these different cards and just sitting on like one Pokemon and just slamming with it over and over again.
For sure.
Yeah, and it's like, it's a super strong card, and then like it's probably gonna get like whenever there's new psychic Pokemons, it's like can we put in Gardevoir because like this is free energy
acceleration. Like
Screamtail. Yeah, like Screamtail. Yeah.
All right. And your number 5 is a road deck that has all of a sudden become actually kind of good.
Yeah.
You have?
I have Mr. Cloth himself. So for for 2 colors energy, if this Pokemon's affected by special condition, this does 160 more. So it's 190 damage. With DT does 170. But at like it does more damage basically because like you're running it in combination with like poison and with poison.
Brute Bonnet and Sneasler.
Yeah, Brute Bonnet and Sneasler. Yeah, so this is just a super efficient attacker for like 1 energy basic Pokemon. You're hitting for like 200 damage basically.
Yeah, charm that boy. It's GG.
Yeah. So yeah, this thing is it's just a super fun deck to play, dude. It's just super cool to just see like just see Cloth. It's just a funny Pokemon, and then like as this funny gimmick of like poisoning itself and its opponent, like with the Brute Bonnet.
Yeah, crazy card. Yeah. All right. The next card I chose is Chien-Pao EX. Although I've never enjoyed playing Max Caliber, this card is just good to have as in Palkia decks, just in water type decks with Palkia. It's cool. You Shivery Chill. Now you got 2 energies. You can conceal cards. And then you can just do it big when you start Portal, or you can pivot away from it with cross switchers and scare up and stuff like that. Just a nice card to have. It's cool because it's a main attacker in one deck and it's utility in another deck. So I like how it's versatile, and I chose the funny art because I like this art. So yeah, the cat prevails. He makes my top 5.
Yeah, I think having an unlimited like uncapped damage Pokemon in the format is like super. It's like I think it's just important to have so that you don't just have something that like just can't be like. I guess we sort of have that now in Zard, but like in theory there should be like a mod that just be able to like punish that type of deck. But
yeah. All right, and your number 4 is. I was actually surprised to put this down, but hey, I expect it. You have
the Iron Bundle. So you mainly use it for the ability once per turn. If this is on your bench, you may switch your opponent's active to the bench. So it's basically like half an escape room. You just use it's basically like a pseudo like scuff boss, but like you can find this off like a nest ball or something.
Or Irida.
Yeah. So I think the utility is super strong, and just remember like I guess it's gonna be less than good enough, but like before you ran like these type of cards just as one-ups, so you can like potentially like just toolbox them. You just find them. You just like turn their nest balls into like toolboxes for like others' abilities.
This card is gonna be good at Moss Box when Rope rotates.
Ooh.
when Robo rotates, when you have to run and switch card. Because before, when they would only bench 1/1, Robo was really broken.
Mm-hmm.
Now when Robo rotates, this card
right.
is going to be strong in Lost Box. You can cram the other thing in the back.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, Iron Bundle is sick. It's good to see use. I mean, it's going to be here for a while.
Yeah.
We're going to go into our top 3 now. I decided to go with Mew EX. Another card I only recently just picked up when I to play it to try to Palkia. But what I love about this card is it's kind of like Iono, where you could pretty much shove it into any deck. Because Iono is in format, you don't have to swing with it. It's also free retreat. So we talk about free retreat bonds. I know it's a 2-prizer, but when you know your opponent's gonna Iono you, you have the option to slam down the UX. I would slam it down. And especially it's another pivot option. Strong card. It also has a strong attack. Genome hacking. If you have any way to accelerate it, so Guardy, Raihan GTE. So actually any deck can accelerate it right now. It's a strong attack. It's funny when you use it to beat Tina, you're gonna beat itself up. Amelia, it's just a staple card in the format.
Yeah, it's like it does. It's just very generically good. It has an ability that helps you draw cards. It can even use the attack if you have energy acceleration, and if anything, it's just also a pivot too.
Glad they added it because it's 180, so it's not like it's broken.
It's not like
it would have been a problem if it was 220. I'm not gonna lie. All right, and your number 3 spot is for the fans, in my opinion, but you got.
We got Miraidon EX. So this thing, I think this is ability. It might be one of the most broken abilities in the game. Once per turn, you search for a deck for up to 2 basic lightning and put them onto your bench. This thing is like one nest ball just sets you up for the whole field, and it does the attack's not even bad too. It's like it does 220 for 3 energies. But then you can just accelerate these with you can accelerate with Flappy, electric generators. There's many ways to accelerate energy onto this. Before people were running it with Regieleki, which is like in the league battle decks, if you want to like play that version.
You just swing big.
Yeah, you swing big with Rhydon, but now people have been playing it with
Raichu.
Yeah, Raikou and Raichu, and then of course like
the hands.
Yeah. And then when
people Speaking of which, we don't have hands on this list. We both didn't put hands on the list.
I think that might be top 5, but like I think it's bad for the format.
Especially with counter catcher.
Yeah, I think that's bad for the format. So yeah.
I think Murata, if we had super limits in 2023, Murata would have gotten the biggest comeback in 2023. This was because let's be honest, like this deck, everyone called it trash, right? Now we don't. Like now we all agree it's a top deck. But like during like first original, we were all called it trash. Like the only person who brought it was Matt, right? But that's because Matt was good at it. But like, we're all calling it trash and stuff. And then I remember every regional, we're like, how's it top 8? How's it top 8? Every time. How's it
gets one top 8.
Yeah, one top 8 every time. And now it's just good. Now when we see it, multiple top 8s, like, it's a strong deck. And right on the X, you don't need no Battle VIP pass.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be the top deck coming out of our first rotation, first Scholar Ballot.
Yeah.
So that's what I think at least.
It took people a lot of time to like find the proper way to play Miraidon. Like people were on the Lekkies, and now people are on like
the. People were running Celebrations Mew.
Now
with
like,
Beach Court.
Yeah, now we're pivoting towards
paths.
Yeah, so it's like
Peony. Oh my god.
Peony. Yeah, there's still like tech found for this deck, which is just insane. We're like
Yeah. All right, we're going to number 2 spot. I have chosen the format, quote unquote, format saver, Jirachi. The only basic non-Roblox on here. Jirachi. So it has the ability Stellar Veil, prevent all damage counters from being placed on your bench Pokemon by effects of attacks used by your opponent's basic Pokemon. And we all know why they printed this. Their mistake, the rock-eating monster, Sableye. And everyone was starting to call this a format saver, which I can see why. Sableye is annoying. So your bench was you literally had Collapse Stadium. You literally had Jirachi Manaphy as your bench every time and I can agree. I've played road decks and playing Jirachi plus Manaphy. The issue is they've added hands into the format. So this would have made my number 1 spot if they didn't add hands in the format. It is still a strong card. It's actually you know when it's actually really good is when they commit Sableye. It's like, for example, you play Lost Box, you don't bench Jirachi, they commit Sableye to 70 on your Manaphy and then spread counters, so they can do like 6/6 the next turn. And then what you do is you like counter catch up something else, keep the Sableye alive, put down the Jirachi and Manaphy
Yeah.
and just kill something, and I'm like, well, crap, I can't save like
Yeah.
anything. So it's like, Schrodinger's Jirachi, it's not there until you play down the Lost Mine Pokemon. So yeah, Jirachi is my number 2 pick of 2023.
Yeah, I think it's just super important for all decks to just die to save Y. It also like has niche use against although it doesn't stop Iron Valiant's ability, it does stop you from getting Yoga Looped.
Yeah,
which is
true.
like if you get Valiant plus Yoga Loop, you just lost the game.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Yeah. Strong card. All right, your number 2 is because you play the deck, but I
Yeah.
respect it. You got Max Calibur.
Oh.
Whoa! We didn't do that.
Yeah, so Excalibur, also often you like you may attach a basic water engine from your hand to one of your Pokemon. It's just I just like energy acceleration, I guess. Like
No, Deluge Blastoise dreams. That's what
Yeah.
Douglas says. You're living out your Deluge dreams.
it's basically like Deluge, but like Deluge attaches any energy, which like I guess it doesn't matter this much because like Iron Hands only requires one lightning energy, but like in the past you were able to run it in like I think it was Black Serum was the main one where it did like 300 damage. Okay, it didn't do 300. Like, it basically one shot everything in format for like
230.
Yeah, it's like basically one shot everything in format for like 2 lightning, a water, and like colorless. So like yeah, I think it's just I just like energy exciting. I just want to just like attach like tons of energies in one turn.
Definitely strong on water GLC as well. What I like about Bax is you can use it in decks that require a lot of colorless energy.
Yeah.
But it's mainly in Chip out. But
Yeah.
Bax is a great card. All right, we're going to our number 1 Pokemon picks of 2023. Probably the most important slot out of all of the picks, whether it be trainers, whatever. Pokemon. This is what we play the game for. For the little dudes, the little monsters that run around. Well, not little for these 2 Pokemon. Actually, I don't know how big this Pokemon is, but I'm going to go by number 1. Starter, we got the Squawkabilly EX. Now, this, again, would have been my number 2 if Hans was in the format. But now Squawkabilly is my number 1, and I love this Pokemon. It's funny. All right, it's a good staple. You can throw it in any deck you want. Now that Turo exists, it's even stronger. Yes, Penny was okay, but it filled your hand. Turo makes it strong. Collapse makes it strong.
Yep.
It was a lot better than people thought it was going to be because people are like, oh, just play the Minion, or like, oh, it's 160 HP. But in the end, it's a strong card, and you play it in decks where it's more worth it for them to kill a different threat. So yeah, Squawkabilly EX. They should have made it for your tree to make it even more broken. But yeah, discard your hand. Squawk and Seize, discard your hand, draw 6. Very strong. You can use it turn 1. That's why they use it because we're in a battle VIP meta, and not being able to support turn 1 hurts. But Squawk fixes that, and plus Best Ball works with it. So Squawkabilly EX is my number 1 pick of 2023.
Yeah, the ability is just like insane. And they had to like limit it to it was before we had the Dene, which is you can just on place it does this the effect, but like that was too broken, so we have this that's like it's balanced because it's like you can only use it during like your first turn, but then like when you play against someone that's going second, they hit Squawkabilly and then they hit a supporter and then they just hit like everything off of it. It's like, oh man, this is
it's doomed.
It's doomed, yeah.
This card is great.
Yeah.
And it's funny to say, people call it the Billy or people call it Squawk. It's the same thing. So.
Yeah.
All right, your number 1 card. This is probably the most meme number 1 card, but I respect it. You got?
I got the Roaring Moon. So, I mean, I like doing big damage. The first attack is knock out your opponent's Pokemon and it does 200 to itself. It's just the attack is just insane, right?
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's on the basic Pokemon. It was on Giratina, but then like Giratina V-Star, but then that was your V-Star power. You have to like get to 10. It's like it's so much work. While this one's like
this is the Zard killer.
Yeah, we have the Professor. We have Sawdust. We still have Dark Patches in format. Like this card is just insane.
Yeah, and I think this card is going to be good on rotation too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna wrap up our Pokemon segment in our top 5s of 2023. I think it was a great season. The meta is getting kind of still right now. It's just hands meta and how to beat hands and not lose to it. Yeah. But I think it's okay. So yeah, we're gonna hop into our League of Legends section. This one's pretty beefy too, but not as long as Pokemon, guys. So thank you guys for sticking out for the podcast. But I know a lot of people wanted long episodes like this. So here we go. We're gonna go ahead. Worlds 2023 in Korea. And probably the most one-sided Worlds I've ever watched. Yeah, we got bangers here. So we're gonna go over first our favorite game slash series. I'm gonna go first. Let me go ahead and pull this up. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about NRG versus G2 in Swiss as my favorite game of the series. This is a little biased, but honestly, it was just insane because I think like the chances of Energy winning were just not there.
Yeah.
I think everyone can agree that we were gonna lose. The NA was gonna lose.
Yeah.
Like this is LEC's first seed. Like LEC is not a bad region. We can all agree with this. They're not a bad region. But dude,
G2 is a good team.
G2 is a good team. But Yike just threw the whole series. Like I think it would have been like less egregious if it was 2-1 Energy and it was close games.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. And I've watched almost every single coaching perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, like Cagel's reaction was funny, Don's reaction is funny, like what is a kilometer, Solar Baka, LS, like this was the series to watch at 2 in the morning in my room, and it was wild, and almost every player played perfectly on NRG. It's sad to see them go quarterfinals, but well-deserved quarterfinals. Besides playing against TL, I think was the only bad thing. But yeah, what do you have to say about G2 versus NRG?
I just love watching NRG play. The problem with like every teams at Worlds is like they just play super passive.
They don't know what to do.
They're just waiting to get out hands by like the Korean team.
Yeah.
It's like yeah, we're gonna out hands instead. No, you guys aren't. Like
yeah.
But then like the way the NRG plays, they're proactive. They actually like look for plays. They look for plays. Like yeah.
Like I feel like TL versus T1 for example.
Yeah.
Like they were playing like a traditional NA team, just playing back, don't want to make mistakes. But Piosik was actively telling them to go do stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why the T1 versus TL game was actually okay.
Yeah.
Because Piosik was actually just smurfing. And then we all know what happened against GAM. Because GAM, that's why DCS always shows up. Because they don't care who they're playing against. Yeah. They will run it down.
Like GAM, we saw GAM like run it down super hard. They were like sprinting it, but then like on the other side, you just see them like actually like matching T1 or not T1 TL. So they're not that won't back down. And I think it's the same way for like NRG. They'll like if you fight them, they will fight back. They won't just let you bully them.
They will take the 2v3. Yeah. Like Dola, he'll take the 1v2 out of the tower. Yeah. It doesn't matter. They want to play to win, and winning you gotta be proactive to win League of Legends nowadays. So that's gonna lock up my favorite series for Worlds 2023. And you probably picked a more banger series, the series that pretty much determined the entire world championship. You picked.
I picked JDG versus T1. So. These were probably before the tournament started, it was probably like JDG was the tournament favorite. With like some people have hope for Genji, and like for a Korean team, it would probably be for Genji. But when the meta settled for Worlds, it turned out that like
it's crazy good for T1.
It's crazy good for T1. It's a perfect carry meta, and like so it's like this. I think this was the series that I think decided who would won Worlds.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, this series is crazy. This was the one series I couldn't watch because I was away at a robotics event at a tournament. But man, the amount of text I was getting from you people, this was crazy. And it was 3-1 at the end, right?
Yeah.
So T1 we all know what happened with T1 at the end. This is just peak League of Legends. I think this series was peak League of Legends for this year.
Yeah.
Maybe besides like. MSI BLG versus T1, that was also really close too.
Yeah, that was also
any T1 game is just close nowadays. Just thoughts on Worlds in general. I liked Worlds this year. I watched almost every game. I stayed up because school was slowing down for just a little bit. I think this was one of the best years in recent time that NA showed up. We got energy at quarters, but I think TL did okay, and this is one of the worst C9 years ever. So I mean, it is what it is, but it's cool to see that NA actually did show up. Besides Golden Guardians, That didn't count as world. That didn't count.
That doesn't count at all. Hey, we can hope that say they were the second best team there in the play-ins. It's just that they had their match against BS, which was the best team there. So
Yeah,
just unfortunate matchmaking.
What do you think about Worlds this year?
I think Worlds this year was good. I think I like the new format better. The what's it? The
Swiss? Yeah, Swiss stage?
Yeah. I think the only bad thing about Swiss is like
You could mental boom so easily.
Yeah.
I just feel like you could just like 0-2, crap, we're 0-2, mental boom, 0-3.
I think like also like at 2-2 you can get like unlucky matchmaking. There's a chance that G2 played Fnatic and like I mean I think we did see like KT versus Damwon, right?
Yeah, for quarterfinals.
Yeah.
So I think the main thing is they should do it like when they pull for groups. You can't get the same region in your group stage when they pull for groups. Last year and like the years before, like if like you like for example, an LPL 1 group they pull for the second seeds. If they pull LPL 2, they'll move over to the next group. Yeah, I wish they did that for Swiss, so we didn't get so much friendly fire. I think that's the only issue I have with Swiss was there's too much friendly fire.
Maybe they should have that for like whenever they're like 0-2 because like if a team was like 0-2, you should probably like
remove the friendly fire.
You remove the friendly fire on when they're like when they're at 2 losses is when you can remove the friendly fire probably. But of course there's gonna be like some weird stuff where like you'll see like 4 like LEC teams there. It's like 4 LEC teams at 2-2. It's like wow, someone's having friendly fire here.
I really enjoyed VCS's performance. Also, randomly, Team Will popping off in planes was really funny. Of course, we have the content machines, Loud, always on the content grind. I just wish one year they could make it into the next stage. I think Loud is actually not bad. Just NA and LEC are just better.
I think it'd be exciting to see like if like we saw like Loud and like a lot of these like South American teams just play just play against the NA teams. Like just have like I guess like it's kind of hard, but like if just like awesome.
We never see them play against Korean or LPL teams besides last year because there's 2 of them in.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was gonna be fun games for them. So I think it would be like be competitive against like the NA team. So maybe we can do like. I guess the kind of route to
the thing about play-ins is that they're always way more fun to watch. They're more engaging. There's more fights because it's more unga bunga.
It's more like they're like usually except for when like it's like major versus like minor region where it's just like
it's a stomp. I'm talking about like PCS versus VCS.
Yeah, those are like those are like closer games, which is like
All right, we are going to move into our favorite moment / top play. I'll go ahead and start us off here with my favorite play, and no, it's not an NA play. We're gonna go ahead and start off with Carria's insane bar play against an NA team, Cloud9. Now, don't get me wrong, Cloud9 already lost this game.
Yeah.
But you know what? Dive under the tier 1 tower, it doesn't matter. We got the Drake, and they definitely showed off, and it was just sick.
Yeah.
I mean, the play was sick. I mean, not many people could pull it off. Yeah. Do you need to go for this play? No, they could have just pushed out mid or something. Yeah. But nah. We gotta put them in their place. So yeah, Carrier with the bar portal and the insane Q flash.
Yep.
Because you have to Q that direction and then flash over. You can't like Q that and then flash over. Yeah. So yeah, it's crazy. For some of my viewers, I recommend looking it up. Just do Carrier bar against C9. Yeah, this is the first thing that pops up. All right, and you chose probably the World Championship winning play.
Yeah.
So there you where is it? It's this one.
This play. It's a big So so JGG's like leading after he just got Baron. T1 has Air Soul, but like the Baron JGG win off the JGG probably wins off the Baron push on this one if like if T1 is not able to do anything. But then Faker has the
fattest splash play ever.
The fattest splash play. It actually hits like the very tip of the Azir ult to catch off Ruler.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, literally angled it.
This just shows how useless late game Ashe support is.
Yeah, it's just an old.
Like if he was any other champion there, Faker would have been able to do that. It was Nautilus, Enchanter, like literally anything.
Yeah.
This play literally won the worlds.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Yeah. In my mind. Because JDG would have swept Weibo as well. Like both of these teams would have swept Weibo in finals.
Yeah.
BLG maybe had a better chance, but Weibo, yeah, the shit.
Yeah, this is like this is I think the game that determined worlds. Basically, they're 1-1, and then it's like I as also the same game, but like when the owner flashed the Ashland into like a 5-man like 4-man railroad. Yeah.
All right. Ooh.
Yeah, it's
where'd it go?
There we go. There.
We're missing one. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right.
1, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2. We're missing one. I'll pull it off.
All right.
I'll get it off Discord.
Yeah. So.
All right. You want to introduce the next segment?
So our next categories are all-time LCS role a tier list. So for LCS player we created a tier list on their performance mainly on NA. So the categories have is champions, which is the one that we think is the best in their role. We have Elite Four, which is the next four best. So basically, that's our top 5 list. And then we have our gym leaders, which is like the next 8, like
they're playoff / world contenders.
Yeah, it's like the playoff, and then after that we have
playable.
We have playable ADC,
playable players. So
playable
you just play them. Just play them. You sign them up.
Yeah.
And then you have the fraud watch.
Yeah, we have fraud watch.
Oh no, we have NPCs. Well, we have wild. Okay, so we have again. Champion is the positional GOAT of all time in LCS. Their time in the LCS. Elite Four is the top 5 players, I guess, after that.
Yeah.
And then gym leaders is playoff contention, LCS winners, or show appearance at Worlds. Ace Trainer are just decent, good players of the region.
Yeah.
Youngster is playable players.
Yeah.
Wild Encounters, don't even sign them.
Maybe you're on a budget.
Yeah, maybe you're on a budget. And then Fraud Watch is imports that were paid too much to play, or they were just so trash.
Or maybe you shouldn't have imported them in the first place. Yeah.
So we're going to start with our trusty top laners. Again, these were made at like 2 in the morning. So, and we still agree with them. We got top lane here. We got Impact as our champion.
Yeah.
This is kind of obvious. Came in after a year winning Worlds.
Yeah.
And he's won 4 titles on TL.
Yeah.
Did he win one with C9?
No, right? Probably no one.
So 4 with TL. Just 4 with TL.
Yeah, but then even though he only won 4, the 4 years before he was by far the best top laner, top laner in the league. So yeah.
He was what on C9? He was on.
He was carrying super early. I think he came on Team Impulse or something. People just call it Team Impact.
Yeah. He's the GOAT of NA. He's an important, but he's a grandfather player. So he works. He's an NA resident now. Yeah. He is now going to be playing with TL again. Yeah. He was actually really good on FlyQuest 2 with the Korean roster. Yeah. Kind of Korean roster.
Yeah.
Until they broke apart. Because Bigla sucks. So Elite Four. So our top 5 players. We have Budge Factor. We got Licorice. We got Concert, and we got
I can't see.
We got who's that again? Was that?
Oh, is that something?
Oh, something. Yeah, that's something. Yeah. So only 2 NA players, 1 and then 2 grandfather players.
Yeah.
Or no, Fudge is.
He's Australian, so
he's pretty much. Yeah, he's pretty much NA. Fudge is by far has been the best top laner when he's in the LCS.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say at Worlds appearances because we're counting that. But he's just so good. He's just good. You can't not believe in him.
Yeah.
I think this year is probably his worst year. But it was still a good year though. They won one, right? They won an LCS.
Yeah.
He played against some boosted top players. So
he's it's his worst year, and he looks by far the best top laner. So it's okay.
We have Licorice, who probably had one of the weaker start. No, fans' most hated start. And then he proved himself on C9, and he had he's one of those top laners where the lower tiers pick him up, but he's strong. He's real good.
Yeah.
Golden Guardian's good. He's real good. And then of course we got Concert.
TSM Hanser.
Yeah, TSM Hanser,
Yeah, he started on Gravity. He was one of the I think one of the only young players in on gravity, and he was like, you can see that how good he was.
Yeah.
Once his contract ended, or once I think gravity got picked up after by another org afterwards, they immediately TSM immediately signed Topser, which was like the best. Who was the best top player, like top 2 top player in the league, competing against like Impact, I think, at the time.
Yep. And of course, we're finishing off our Elite Four. We have Sunday, the 100 Thieves top laner specialist. Only good on 100 Thieves. I'm just kidding. Yeah. He was good on other teams, but he definitely carried 100 Thieves League of Legends brand as a whole. And he's still on that team, I think. Well, we're gonna go over rosters later. We're not gonna go every single player on this list, but we'll go over every champion Elite Four, and then we'll shout out each player, and then we'll talk about the Far Watch. So the player I'm going to be shouting out is actually Blippo. He only played for a split or a year, and he's an ace trader because he wasn't that bad. I mean, it's Blippo we're talking about.
Yeah, he's so
good. He's finally back to prove himself. And we believe that when we were making this list before we found out he was back, we believe that if he had more time, he would have been a gym leader. Like, he's quite a strong. I think the issue is he wasn't used to how MMA played. How the LCS played. So I believe he has figured out that time, and he is back, baby. So I'm excited to watch him play on possibly one of the best rosters FlyQuest has had. So.
Yeah, I think he definitely, if he just made it to Worlds instead of losing in fourth, I think he would have been gym leader.
That was the 15 million TL roster, right? That was Blippo, Santorin, Bjergsen, Tactical, and Core JJ.
Yeah,
that was
the Han Sama.
Oh, it was Han Sama. Yeah, that's right.
It was the meme was the CLG 300k roster versus the 3 mil TL roster of the core series. So it's yeah, I think.
Was that what Luger was playing on CLG?
Yeah, that was Luger Poom.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What player would you like to talk about here on the top?
I'll probably shout. Let's see. I'm thinking of gym leaders. I say Darshan. So I think Darshan just retired this season, but
he was on Academy for a little bit.
He was on Academy. He was actually super insane for Academy. Honestly, I was
Zion
Spartan, and early in career he was one of the best carry top laners in the LCS. And then when he went to COG, he was when the COG that made MSI finals, he was insane on tanks and Poppy. And then if you watch the end of his run in the Academy, his tank play was actually insane, which is super amazing to see.
All right, next we got the 80 carry tier list, and when we were making this, we found out that after gym leader, it's shit. There's nothing we can do about our 80 carry list. I mean, there's no question about it. The GOAT of all time for LCS bot lane is Doublelift. 8 titles. Let's see.
I don't know,
1 on CLG, 1 where he first won. 3 on TSM, 4 on TL.
Yeah,
it's incredible. I think he shares the exact same amount of titles as Bjergsen.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not a spoiler because it's Bjergsen. But, he's just crazy good. And the thing about Doublelift is he's crazy good at every 80 carry.
Yeah.
I don't think there's an 80 carry who's bad at besides Draven. Draven's the only one.
Yeah.
Because he only played 1 stage and he got rolled by Sneaky. Don't agree with me. As soon as Zeri came out, he was the best. He was besides Danny, he was he was the second best Zeri in the league.
Yeah.
And he was streaming at the time.
Yeah.
So his grind for the game is incredible, and the love for his game is what I think he is one of the reasons why NA LCS fans still exist, along with Sneaky and Radios fans.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I mean, do you have any other words for Doublelift?
I think he's just clearly the GOAT of AEC, potentially. People even have conversation is he the GOAT of NA?
Ooh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, so Elite Fours is I think probably the 4 most obvious. I think after Worlds, FBI deserves to be up there and maybe replace Danny because Danny is forced retirement.
Yeah.
But at the time we were making this was before Worlds.
Yeah.
Obviously FBI has proven himself to be Elite Four.
Yeah.
So we have Sneaky, Stixay, Turtle, and Danny. Let's talk about Danny first. We just think he deserves to be up here because again, we're talking about all-time career path, and his career was 1 whole year and possibly the best year a rookie has ever had in his life. Danny was, I think, if he played the same amount of time as Doublelift, he'd be good at Doublelift.
He played 2.5 splits and he won 2 splits.
Yeah.
Sounds yeah.
I think I want to say he has a better Zeri, but definitely a better Jinx than most of the players on this list. And you could maybe argue is because that team worked together so well. But at the same time, though, he was kind of nasty. Like just kiting in general, just crazy. His hands was insane, and then he went bald, and he became even more insane. So yeah, of course we have Sneaky on here. Probably often lived in the shadow under Doublelift, although had better international appearances than Doublelift, which makes him the second best AD carry of all time. Definitely, definitely better than Turtle, definitely better than Stixay. But we can't doubt them though. We can't doubt Sexton and Turtle because those two are still quite good, and it sucks that both aren't playing this season. Because let's see, Turtle was on TSM, they got bought out, and Stixay was on Golden Guardians, and they're gone. So now they're just here, and I don't know what they're doing, but is it kind of concerning that our top 5 is not playing anymore? Like, is that concerning? Like,
I mean, I think it's not that having our top 5 is concerning. It's just that our it's just so our top we just don't have any of the all our top 5 are 4 out of top 5 are old players, and then our only new player was basically forced retired. Which is
and our gym leaders, one is retired and one is a support player. So and I think we'll talk about it later, but I think it's clear that FBI and Berserker are our best 2 current players right now.
Best 2 current season.
You could argue 68 Turtle, but they're not playing right now. They don't have a team, which we'll talk about in the L6 roster. I'm going to shout out a player here. We're going to go with Tactical. I know he's an intern, but I think he still has potential as a player. I think he is the weakest mindset AD player that we've had, that I've watched. Because he was insane. He was, and it wasn't because of Core, because Core does play well with good AD carries. I think we've seen Core play with bad AD carries. Not saying Hansama is bad, but I was shout out Tactical. I'm excited to see him play this year.
Yeah, so I'm gonna shout out Arrow in Ace Trainers. He's I think he won on Phoenix 1, and even though I think Phoenix 1 ended the season in 3rd place, he was MVP of the split. So,
all right. Let's talk about Fraud Watch. I think the main one is Hansama. I mean, he's not bad. I mean, we see him all the time at LEC. The best AD carry, Draven Callista, OP, permanent, right? And then he comes to NA for a year, gets paid the big bucks, and just leaves. It broke road contract. Like, he went through a lawsuit. Like, this guy was the biggest fraud. Also, we got a meme Core JJ Ezreal. I watched that. So Fraud Watch. We have a lot of fraud NPCs in AD carry. All right. Mid lane here. Here we go. We've actually, I think mid lane was the main one for us. There was actually a decent amount of mid laners here for us. So of course the GOAT. We have B Jurgensen, TSM stockholder, washed up 100 Thieves player, GOAT coach. I don't know. This guy went through every single role possible. Still was insane in 2015, 2014.
Yeah, might be actually top 3 player in the world. Top 5 player in the world in 2014, 2015.
Yeah, crazy player. He was on TSM for all of his career besides the one split. One split on 100 Thieves.
He started in Copenhagen with the Fishio, I think.
Yeah.
He played the Fishio for 1 season, and then he went to TSM. And
TSM bought him, and then he played until 2020. Became a coach for 2021, and then played on 100 Thieves in 2022.
One Liquid season, right?
Oh, he did. Yeah, he played on the Break the Bank season, and then he played on 100 Thieves. I think he wasn't that bad on TL, but he was definitely bad on 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
I think he was just ready to quit. I mean, that shows because he did a contract retirement, because the contract was supposed to be for both splits.
Yeah.
But he just should have just left.
Yeah.
So it's sad to see him go, but at the same time, he definitely created a name for NA. But we have the new creator of NA. We have Jojo Q. And of course Jensen. So our League 4, we have 2 retired players. and two current players, an old retired player, as ex-retired player Jensen.
Yeah.
But JoJo is sort of like Danny, where he proved himself in 1 year with Danny,
Yep.
but he didn't retire because he wasn't forced, and he continues to prove himself, literally carrying EG to a second seed of the split last season.
Yep.
So he is quite the player, and he makes a lot of champions look better than they actually are.
Yeah.
I swear that one game when he popped off with Ari, the win rate champion went down in NA by like 2%. So yeah. And of course you got your favorite mid laner in there too. You want to talk about it?
Oh, okay. Well, half of these villains gonna be my favorite now because they're all playing on Cloud9. And then there's a POV.
POV? The POV?
Yeah. So Hai came in season. So he came in season 3, the second split, summer split, and he like instantly dominated with C9. He might have made it.
He's the biggest brain.
He's the biggest brain. He macroed the entire team. He's basically like
high in the 4 wards, right?
Yeah, he's basically NA Faker, right?
Yeah,
well, not exactly. I guess we have like two halves of Faker. We have the mechanics and Beerton, and we have the brains and High.
And then we have Jensen, who's quarter of both.
Yeah, so High is like, he's just insane. I think he's proved his value when Cloud9 played without him. The first Jensen split, Cloud9 looked horrendous, and they had to like put High back. I think he had to go into the jungle, and then they put him back in Meteos, and then they had to put High in the support. It's like this. He proved like how valuable a player he was when he was like, when he was off the Cloud9 from like top 2 NA team to like A4 or something.
And what I like about NA is we actually have a lot of good mid laners.
Yeah.
Obviously we have our imports. I mean, we got Hugi was pretty good, Perks was pretty good, Abadage, Niski, but then we have Palafaker, Devontae, Scar. Like they were all pretty good. I want to shout out Shifter because I feel like if this guy didn't retire, he actually would have been pretty good.
Yeah.
Because he's still. I think Shifter is like. In like the offline 2D friends group, he's considered like a god gamer. Like he's good at every game he plays. But why did he retire? Was it because he was? I think he was bored, right? He was just like he didn't want to play the game anymore.
I don't think. Yeah, he didn't. I don't think he liked like being a like pro player as much. He's like a super gifted player, but I just think he. I think he just said he didn't want to like. I think he just not like. He just didn't want to be a pro player. I think that's the main thing.
You want to shout out any players?
I'm gonna shout out Skara.
Yeah.
So Skara is actually like
Skara for life, bro.
Yeah, Mr. Skara for like there's the Skara Triverse meme in League, but he's actually just he was insane. Early season he was insane. So yeah.
Catarina player.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go over the last one again. We don't have support, so we're running out of time here, so we're gonna go a little bit faster here. This is the hardest one. I feel like there could have been 2 champions.
Yeah.
At the time of 2 in the morning, we just said Blabber because it's current, it's recent to us, and he can carry the hell out of games.
Yeah.
But Smithy is probably the biggest team player juggler, and I mean, you just can never forget like the 4 seasons in a row.
Yeah.
Camp the fuck out of double lift.
Yeah.
I think NA has gone through a decent amount of good jugglers.
Yeah.
I think Meteos would have kept playing if he didn't get contract shafted by like 100 Thieves.
Like twice.
Sun Scared was really good. But like the fact that our top 2 jugglers are both NA residents is really cool.
Yeah.
I feel like because I feel bad for Smith because he doesn't got a team either this year. So yeah, our top 5 I think is pretty self-explanatory. I don't think we really need to get into it.
Yeah.
I'm going to shout out Piosic and Armeo. Because Armeo finally has cemented himself in the league.
Yep.
He has been a meme academy. I think he's been one of the best jugglers in academy for years now. And it's obvious too. It's like super obvious. And then you get people like you get random jugglers not playing instead of Armeo for the past 3 years when he's been in academy. But the thing is that his academy is gonna pay off because I think he's gonna do good. Because he's on Shopify now, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is the new leagues, the new organization, so all eyes on them. And then Piosic proving that NA does not wash a player up. Piosic proved that NA does not wash a player up. So
yes. I think I'm gonna shout out Mr. Co-streamer himself, Mr. I Will Dominate.
True. Finalist of the Tarzan tournament in top lane.
Yeah, he was insane in season 5 and season 4. I think there's a chance that he would have been like actually be able to cement himself like Elite 4 if he was not banned for like a year, like 2 years.
Was that what happened?
Yeah, he got banned for 2 years, and like once he came back in the league, he was like him and Rush are like the best junglers in the league.
Oh
So,
yeah, Rush.
Yeah, him and Rush are the best junglers in the league. So it would be cool if like he wasn't banned, and then we were able to see if he was insane for the years that he played, but he just didn't play for
Oh
very
yeah,
long.
shout out to River for being sold from Dignitas so they can get coffee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
I think the main thing that I think a lot of people look at is Broxah for farm watch. We're not saying he's bad. We're just saying that the position he was put in was really bad because he's not a carry juggler. And when he got his visa delayed, people were like, "Oh, don't worry, Broxah will save us." But the thing about Broxah is he needs time with his team.
Yeah.
So when he just got thrown into the game on TL, it was like not good. So we're not saying he's a bad player, but he just he didn't get enough time with his team, which I think is an issue for NA. I mean, if you look at Dokla, Palafox, and contracts, yeah. If you look, I mean, those three have been playing together for a really long time. So I think that's why they did so well on RNG because they've just been playing together for a long time, and then they just picked up a strong bot lane. The bot lane is super easy to get along because you just pick up two good players that are gonna work well with each other. And Ignar is crazy good, and we already know FBI is an LCS winner. So yeah, this is the jungle list for LCS all time. And then for support, unfortunately we haven't made a list yet, but we will actually leave it in the comments below because we were discussing champion is it either Core or is it Aftermoon? Both very good, but okay, again, Core has the four-time LCS.
Only two because.
Oh yeah, all right. He was part of the four-time LCS Team Liquid winning rosters, but Aftermoon overall career-wise in the LCS, I think the reasoning I put it or you put it is he makes 80 carries look good. He makes bad 80 carries look good. With Core, if he's with a bad 80 carry, he looks bad too. Because not because he gets carried by a good 80 carry, but he just knows how to play and carry games with a good 80 carry. Whereas Aftermoon, he's just so good at support that he makes people like Cody's son good. or I would say Johnson wasn't that bad. But I think he just knew how to train Johnson.
It's like he worked with like a lot of like young ACs. He played with like Cody's son. He played with Neo. Like he played with Johnson. You said, He just played with a lot of young AD carries and made them look super insane.
I think he's also willing to play with them because he loves NA talent. Aftermoon loves NA talent.
And then once he gets traded, it's like, oh, this ADC looks really bad.
Every time on stream, we're double you like, yo, Afro, you make Cody look good. Yeah, man. What's up, man? Just doing things, you know. Nothing different. But Elite Four. I mean, you got Aftermoon Core, Vulcan, Ignar. Will we say who he's Elite Four?
I think he's been strategizing well since like he moved to sport.
Yeah, I think those are Elite Four then. So we have so either Aftermoon or
Core. Those are top two.
Yeah, then we have Ignar, Huhi, and
Vulcan.
And Vulcan, So that's our Elite Four. And then you guys can pick Jim Leaders all you want. I mean, there's so many out there. I mean, like who do you have? I mean, Bustio proves himself already.
There's a lot of like
There's a lot of. It's such an easy role, man. Zed isn't there.
There's a lot of like. There's a lot of good. There's a lot of like okay supports in LCS.
All right, so I don't think we have enough time to talk about new season stuff, which honestly we can talk about next the New Year's because the season starts on the January 20th. So we're just gonna go over LCS roster of 2024, what we think, and then we'll sign off there. So we're gonna go over this really quickly. Let me go ahead and pull it up on Chibi Sports, which is a website I haven't used until this year, to be honest. So let's start with 100 Thieves. So we got let's see if this is there we go. So 100 Thieves. We went from a roster where it was 100 Thieves was trying to build a new roster because they won in 1 year, then lost to EG's super team, and they're like, let's build a new roster, let's get a bunch of young players, let's put in double lift, let's see what happens. Tenacity got hated on, so they brought back Sunday. Closer is the only player from that LCS winning roster because they were trying to build a roster around him. And plus he was willing to camp double lift. Lucio is proven himself to be a good rookie. And then their mid laner their mid lane situation was obviously trashed because of Bjergsen. But Quinn managed to do okay. But now,
a rough start.
But now we have turned into sort of a free agent kind of, let's spend a little bit more money. We've dropped closer. We picked up the jungle that's starting to become really good, River. We are bringing up the youngest player that we've had ever in LCS, Sniper. And then we have Ayla Meech coming in for Ballin. Meech being Meech being the winner of NA Academy. And Ayla being a decent support that's been up and coming for the LCS. What do you think about 100 dudes?
So I think they are just trying to develop a roster with Sniper, Quinn, Meek, and Meek are they are three super new players.
Yeah.
Ayla is I consider
Ayla's pretty good. Ayla's pretty good.
He's also pretty new, and then I think River's the only older player on the team, which is
I think he's good for jungle.
Yeah, I think he's also Korean, so maybe that helps develop Quinn.
Yeah. The roster we need to talk about the least. The same roster for Cloud9.
One change.
Two change. They
got Vulcan. Yeah.
They got Vulcan back because Ben wanted to go play AD carry again.
Yeah.
I don't know where he is. We need to look at his Twitter.
Yeah.
And then we picked up possibly the biggest mid pickup of all time, Jojo Bean. And I don't think this will change much because Jojo Bean is just literally a direct upgrade for MS.
Yeah.
A literal direct upgrade. And Vulcan is literally playing with all of his ex-teammates besides Berserker. So he's going to fit in very well.
Yeah.
So because he played with JoJo on EG, and he played with Fletcher Blabber because he was on C9.
Yeah.
So it's literally just Berserker. But I think Vulcan is excited to play with a superstar AD carry, even though he had Danny. So
yeah.
All right, we got Dig, the broke team that's somehow still in the league. And they went for a budget. They just went budget. They just went budget. So they kept Tomo. Tomo was actually not bad.
He was okay.
He was okay. They kept Rich, which was also not bad. So they dropped possibly one of the best jugglers in the LCS for XU, and dropped Poob, who was not bad either for IS. So they went full budget. And I don't even know who done this.
Yeah, he was a decent LCK mid laner when top lane was really bad, and then he became a decent LCK mid laner again.
Yeah. I think this is bottom team for sure.
I just don't like this. Why? I don't know why they built this team. It's I don't. They might place probably the same as 100 Thieves, but I understand why you build a 100 Thieves team. But I don't understand why you built this.
100 Thieves is they're building their new players.
Yeah. So
FlyQuest, this is the team I'm gonna be looking forward to most to because Bookbo is back, baby, and you can't doubt this guy. I mean, he's a world finalist. So they got the LEC top side. Bookbo, Inspired, and Jensen. I'm glad Jensen is staying to play.
Yep.
And then we have the Zoomer bot lane, Masu and Busio. So they have Masio in the bot lane. Busio, I think he's proven himself on 100 Thieves with double lift. Because I feel like it would have been a lot of pressure for a rookie support to be playing with the best AD carry of all time.
Yeah.
But he handled himself well. He had the balls to pick a 0 for his first match with LCS. So, and Masu's not bad either. I took a little bit into Masu. So.
Yeah.
What do you think about FlyQuest?
I love the top side of Whipple Inspired Jensen. I just hope Busio still continues to improve and not how Aftermoon made every support look good. I hope it's not
Double it makes every support look good?
I hope it's not like that.
Apparently, Busio played the most out of everyone 100 Thieves, according to Double Lift. Yeah. Even including double lift streams. Busio was playing the most. He was playing 13 hours a day.
Yeah.
So, and the thing is, what makes Busio so strong is he understands how every lane works. Which is important. Which, it sounds weird because, you should understand it, but he's played through it. So
it's important for support.
Yeah. Alright, so let's go over energy first.
Okay.
There's something to talk about energy, actually. It's the same thing.
They got who?
They got this pretty much same skill level. I think Aver's a little bit better, but the thing is FBI and movies play together. Yeah. So it's not that bad. Same thing. Energy. Get sixth again so you can win. Immortals. The thing about Immortals is oh, sorry, Ario to Immortals, not to Shopify. The thing about Immortals is Castle Mask. I think the Immortals would have been good if they didn't pick up Castle Mask.
Yeah.
I think what mid laners were we talking about that were open? Who was Golden Guardian's mid laner?
Gory.
Yeah, Gory is open.
Oh, Gory's in
Gory was open, and then for top lane Licorice is open. So they could have.
Oh man, that would be insane.
But the thing is, Immortals is they signed Castle Mask instantly in offseason. So if they waited and just poached Gory Licorice, this would have been the most insane roster that Immortals has ever had since Xfinity.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to see Armeo, and this just seems like a TL like old XTL, like
3 XTL players.
Yeah, 3 XTL players. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like our main like tactical are like on the redemption arc, and then Oleg just finished his military service, and I think
he stopped smoking.
Yeah, and he stopped smoking, so it's like
he's on his redemption arc.
Yeah, he's also on his redemption arc. So like 3 players on.
So tactical malfight is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. So,
all right.
Yeah.
New roster, Shopify Rebellion. The organization with the most amount of money, but spent the least amount of money this season. So we have Fake God, who just Fake God and Zazel, who just won LCS Academy, and then we picked up Boogie Insanity
from
TSM, and for some reason didn't keep Turtle.
Or Chime. They didn't keep Chime.
Yeah, they keep Chime or Turtle. So. I feel like Chime and Turtle were like one of the better better bot lanes that season.
Yeah.
It was really bad before Turtle, and then became good with Turtle.
Yeah.
And Chime, I feel bad for Chime because he spent so long in the academy too.
I think Chime's pretty good.
Yeah.
But I think like having Zazel on this team, like I think Zazel is like helps. It's like he's like budget. No, he's like similar to Afromoon. I think he makes his teams look better, but. Individually, I don't think he is that strong of a player.
He should have stuck to coach on C9, bro. Yeah, Shopify, again, new team, new org. I think they wanted to just keep it chill and then maybe buy out some players later.
Yeah,
because Shopify, they are here where they are because their management is smart.
Yeah.
So
maybe they just try to develop a few players and then they just pick up all stars for like the rest
for like next season. Or
yeah.
All right, Team Liquid. So we have the same bottom side: APA, Yon, and Core JJ. Core JJ, I believe, said that he still believes in Yon. So, and then we went from Korean Superstar World Championship jungler to a seeded General Uti.
Uti on
and then they go direct to top lane. So I think it just depends on these two. Will APA continue to be a strong mid jungle duo like he was with Piosik? I think APA really enjoyed playing with Piosik. Because I think Piosik was trying to learn English from APA, and APA, all the rest of these people already do Korean. So I'm excited for TL. I mean, you can never talk down TL because it's Team Liquid, and they're the only team that holds a 4-way back-to-back LCS title winning. So
Although I think I'm not sure if this roster is even overall stronger because like before you can always just go Piosik Camp Summit, he'll just let Summit burger flip the game. With Impact, he's not a burger flip player. Now you're just like burger flipping on basically just APA, right? Because you're not flipping it on Neon.
Yeah, but I think
I think
these rosters aren't bad, some of them, and I think they'll do okay internationally. I think 2023 proved that NA's not out yet. NA is not out yet. Thank God G2 sucks. And G2's running it back again. But I think that's because G2 knows what they're doing. They know that one bad Worlds shouldn't mean to break up the roster. Which is something NA has an issue of. Let me switch teams. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for the podcast. Finally, we got a new episode. A lot of people have been waiting. Jeremy, you want to say anything?
That was a long episode, but it was fun. It's been a while since we recorded an episode.
Absolutely agreed. All right, guys, we will see you guys in the New Year's. We'll do a booth vlog for the New Year's party. I will see you on the 31st. And I hope you guys all enjoyed listening and watching the podcast. Thank you to Booth Gaming. Shout out to Booth Trading. Hopefully, we get an episode recorded in your new store when you move. And thank you again, Tony, for making our new logo. Sign us off.
Thank you for watching. If you want to check us out on Twitter, we have at the Donbozos podcast. Check it out on Instagram, and we will have this episode uploaded, and we'll also upload this to
Spotify. I'll put it on Spotify.
Spotify too.
Spotify will come a week after the YouTube episode because I have to transfer all the files still. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you for watching.